Alright, hey everybody. As you can probably already tell, this video is going to be about the new RuneScape book that got released a few weeks ago by Jagex called Betrayal at Falador. And I'm just going to talk about what I thought of the book and basically give you a recommendation on it. So, when I saw that RuneScape was coming out with a book a few months ago, when they first announced that they had written a book, I didn't plan on getting it, but then as the summer went on, I ran out of stuff to read, so I just figured that I would buy it. So, like a few days after they released it for sale, I ordered it, and it took like 2 weeks for them to ship it here to the United States, but I got it. And so that was 6 days ago, and it took me about 4 days to read it, because it turned out to actually be a good book that I enjoyed reading. But the first few chapters weren't that exciting. It was might take like 5 chapters before it starts to get a lot better. Then it gets suspenseful, I guess you could say, a lot more action, and it's really interesting. So for like the first 5 chapters, it was a little boring, and I was a little skeptical about the book. I didn't think that it would end up being that good, and I was more impressed by the cover of it, which I was planning on making this in real life video so I could show you guys the book, even though I'm sure you could go online and see it, but of course that didn't work out because I think my video camera is too old to connect to a computer and I don't have the proper cable. But anyway, I still decided to make this. So I've got the book in front of me, and so like I said, I was originally more impressed by the cover of the book than I was with the actual writing by T.S. Church. And the guy that gets all the credit for the cover is written in extremely small print on one of the flaps of the cover. Giuseppe Grassi of Jagex deserves the credit for that, but that's not important. What's important is the book, and T.S. Church actually did a really good job writing it, and I enjoyed it thoroughly reading it, as you probably should know, that because it only took me 4 days to read. It's I think 400 pages or 402 pages or something like that, 82 chapters, so each chapter is pretty short, but it didn't take long for their to get into the action of the book, and it is really it gets good at the end, and it was actually kind of disappointing when I finished it, knowing that there wasn't anything left to read. But I would definitely recommend that if you enjoy reading, to get the book. It's similar to RuneScape in many ways, but it's not like the stupid slow attacking stuff. Obviously there's good fighting scenes, large battles, and also like smaller battles. And it's also funny too, kind of how you'll see once you read, but they consider like an adamant sword to be a good weapon. So in that way, it's not really realistic to RuneScape, since it's not too difficult to train and be able to use dragon weapons and dragon armor and better armor. But that doesn't really take away from the book at all. So like I said before, I definitely recommend getting the book, because it's just well written by T.S. Church. This is his first book actually that he wrote, but he did a good job with it. And also, I'd also like to mention on the back cover they have a quote from Zizima, which I really didn't agree with when I first saw it, but I guess it's alright. But it says on the back, Zizima's quote is "the best thing ever," and then in parentheses, "that doesn't give XP." So when I first read that, I thought that it's kind of unfair that Jagex has a correspondence with him outside of the game, but then I guess it's alright because they need to sell their books too, and who better to sell it through than their most famous player, Zizima, who used to be #1 in the high scores, but not anymore, because apparently he doesn't want to train his summoning to get it up. But and then also there's a quote on the back from Paul Gower, who, if you don't know, is the guy that bought RuneScape Classic and turned it into RuneScape as we know it now, RuneScape 2. So he did a good job with that in that manner, I guess. But so if you like to read, you should go out and buy this book. Might seem long, 400 pages, but I don't know if you'll be able to put it down, because I wasn't able to. So I was able to read it quickly, and you'll definitely enjoy it. And talk to you guys later.